Good morning, everyone. We hope you are very well. We are going to wait until Varsha, who is going to be our facilitator for today. She's going to adjust something in her computer, and then she will start talking to us very, very soon. Meanwhile, you can.
Elena.
Good morning.
We are all very happy to be together again, and this will be the last, as you said, and it will be different. It will be different because we are going to remember what we went through during this academical year. I would like to remind you all that our first session for this module, this is the second module of course 1 that we follow, and there is one more module that we'll do next academic year. So we started in October. It was 2nd of October with our first session, and every second Saturday regularly we met together. It was so beautiful. We went through so many interesting topics, and today we'll have the chance to relive some moments from these sessions. So I think it will be a really beautiful session for all of us. For you, the participants who you were all the time with us, but also for the group, the team, which, as you know, it is a team of 14 educators who prepare this online course. So it will be for us also very beautiful to see what we did during all this period.
On the next slide, we will see what does integral education mean? I mean, why does we call it integral education? Because all aspects of the human personality is touched. And when we connect to all these areas within the personality, a balanced personality is cultivated, leading to harmonious development of body, mind, and soul. So this method is based on virtues and the ability to live this life. It combines personal and spiritual development with standard school development and knowledge. And this will shape the students into a sharing and caring individual. So the key element in this process is, as George already mentioned, character building. And the method becomes a tool to awaken the inner potential through a transformational process. This is done by eliciting the goodness from within, by finding out who we really are. We believe in the goodness of people, and that happiness can be found by reconnecting to that goodness and bring it out. We believe that this goodness is manifested within the individual as the 5 human values. We believe, like Socrates, that all knowledge is within and just has to be activated and brought up into the light. This is to awaken our inner potential. And ISSE-SE pedagogy has all the tools needed to awaken this sleeping potential. So let me describe this with a metaphor. I believe you all know the fairy tale, The Sleeping Beauty. She had been laying there for 100 years in deep, deep sleep, waiting for the prince to come and give her the wake-up kiss. And we are like the princes, in deep unawareness of all the knowledge and the potential inside us, just lying there waiting for the prince to come and give us a wake-up kiss. the wake-up kiss could for sure be this ISSE-SE program. I think this is a very good metaphor to understand that all cognition is in fact recognition. All knowledge is within us. It just has to be awakened and practiced. I guess that you all from time to time has experienced that even you have not heard about things before, you are intuitively reacting, yes, yes, I know. Having the feeling of that this is just right. And how do you know? As you have obviously never been presented to that before. Unconsciously, you are recognizing that this is true. And the ISSE-SE program will intensify this process.
So here the founder of ISSE-SE is telling us that there is absolutely no difference between spirituality and culture. And then he reminds us that culture is all about refinement. And when we think of the word refinement, it somehow suggests getting rid of any impurity, so that, you know, when a miner finds the gold, they get rid of the impurity so that they have just the pure gold. So somehow when we refine our characters, and as Satyasai says, removing all that is unnecessary and unwanted, this links so beautifully to the value of truth, to that fundamental question, who am I? Am I just a body, just a mind, or am I something beyond just these changing things all the time? So Satyasai is always inviting us, like Socrates, like Plato, to discover who we truly are. And this is why in this heart culture, which he says in his own words, heart culture, of course, always referring to the spiritual heart, to that source of wisdom within each one of us, to that conscience, inner knowledge. He says that we must cultivate this field and remove the weeds. And what are these weeds? Again, these unwanted negative emotions, like sometimes we're faced with, again, jealousy, anger, pride, attachment, these things that somehow move us away from who we truly are. And Satyasai defines water. He uses water as the symbol to somehow in us, for our hearts to be cultivated, it is the quality of love. And then he says that the harvest, the fruits of all of this is the spiritual discipline, which the reward is wisdom. Wisdom understood as practical knowledge. So again, Satyasai Educare is practical knowledge. So having said that, I would just like to share another quote from Satyasai, which is very beautiful, related to culture too. And he says in one extract, he says, what is culture? You think it is a style of life, but this is not so. Culture is that which transforms your life into an ideal life. So again, we saw in the definition that it's a way of life, and here the founder is telling us to go beyond that concept, and it is not just a way of life. It is actually spirituality. It is actually that which transforms us to be ideal human beings. And how can we be ideal human beings? By discovering who we truly are and radiating that to our societies. So in this sense, just as an understanding of everything we have spoken, when we understand that love is the foundation and the undercurrent of everything, then somehow an environment of love will be created naturally through our actions and behavior. And we already might be thinking, but in our societies, we don't really sometimes see that reflection. We don't really see that everything surrounding us, is guided by this energy of love. I think somehow this takes us back to, once again, that spiritual vision of unity, and how each one of us, what we do, has an effect on each other. And that's why this is an inward journey, first of all, where we're able to tune ourselves to not just discover this source of love within, but to manifest it, to really put it into practice in our lives, because that is how we can create an environment of love. And then as a community, we will reflect this when we understand it, when we practice it, and this attitude will create indeed a culture of love. So we can say that culture of love, understood as something broader and wider, is something that connects us all together. It's something that's common to all, and it is universal, irrespective of our different traditions, customs, thoughts, and beliefs. Somehow this culture of love brings us all together, binding us through this source and energy.
Rudyard Kipling said, "No printed word, no spoken plea can teach young minds what they should be. Not all the books on all the shelves, but what the teachers are themselves." And here we have the letter that Satya Sai Baba wrote to the teachers in 1990. Dear teachers, teaching is the noblest of professions. It is also the holiest spiritual practice for self-realization. For it involves the cultivation of selfless love and the showering and sharing of that love. You mold the rising generation into self-confident, self-reliant, Atma-conscious persons. You are the architect of happy homes, prosperous communities, and peaceful nations. Teachers need not only to equip themselves with the knowledge and the skills to inform and instruct, but also the vision and insight to inspire and transform. Children absorb from teachers and elders their habits and manners, behavior and beliefs. Therefore, the teacher has to be a constant example of the ideals he or she has to implant in their hearts. You must excel in humility, simplicity, morality, and integrity, so that education results in excellence. Such a teacher can be a beacon of truth, love, and reverence. The children who grow under his or her wise care will shine as lamps of love in their homes, radiating courage, joy, and hope. Let the beacons never fade. Let the lamps be ever bright. With blessings, Sri Satya Sai.
I love this story very much. I heard it over and over during my childhood. My mother would read it to me, and of course to all my brothers and sisters. So as said, I really heard it many times. As you see, it's the story. It's called The Carrot Seed, and it begins like this. A little boy planted a carrot seed. Every day he sprinkled the ground with water and pulled out the weeds that were growing around the seed he had planted. But nothing happened. People would come to see him And they too noticed that nothing was happening, nothing was growing. And they would say, I'm afraid nothing is coming up. But the little boy would continue to sprinkle the ground with water and pull out the weeds that were growing around the seed. More people would come to see the little boy, and they too would comment and say, nothing is coming up. Actually, one person even said, nothing will ever come up. But the little boy would continue to pull out the weeds and sprinkle the ground with water. Until one day, something happens. A carrot came up. And look at the size of that carrot. And the book ends with these beautiful words. Just as the little boy had known it would. So what made our little boy so successful? I'm sure that you have guessed. He had dedication. He cared for his seed. He had discipline. Every day, he would sprinkle the ground with water and pull out the weeds. And no one told him to do that. He knew he had to do that, so he just did. He had discrimination. He was able to not allow the doubts of all the other people disturb him or distract him or disorient him from his purpose. He was able to select which words were encouraging for him and which were an obstacle for him. Of course, he had a lot of determination because he did not give up. And as our little boy's dedication became stronger and stronger and unwavering, it ripened and developed into devotion, a form of loyalty and love for his seed, for his purpose. And all of this rotated around a strong sense of duty. Now, the other day I was wondering, why did our little boy decide to plant a carrot seed? Actually, a carrot. What happened before the story began? This is something the story doesn't tell us. And then I realized the little boy had an inner prompting. Something from within him, from within the soil of his heart, sprouted. And this something was so strong that it gave him the self-confidence and a motivation and the will and resolve to make a decision to plant a carrot. And it gave him the energy to pursue his intention, his purpose, and to realize his vision. So basically what happened before the story began, our little boy found a goal. And the goal is fundamental. If I have a GPS, a geopositioning satellite device, it will be useless if I do not know my destination. If I do not know the road, the street number, the city, the town, the country where I'm headed, I will not be able to program it. So we need to know the goal. We need to know where we are going. We need to know our goal.
This is an example of one of the parades that the FUNSA School, Satyasai School of Bogotá, of Colombia, made in 2017. All the children were preparing, for example, activities of recycling things or painting banners or preparing songs or dances for doing the parade. And at the moment of the parade, everybody was there. The teachers, even the principal that is here in this photo, all the kids, the parents, and they went through the whole village of Funza, and it was very inspiring for the whole community. Everybody was coming together. When parents and teachers are both involved in a value-based development process, they can transmit high ideals to children. And here I have a last one. This is a strategy I love a lot. We trained all the teachers of this school, El Portal, that is a foundation for children of prisoners in Bogotá. And those teachers made a meditation on the light before starting each class. Well, those kids had difficult partners at their homes. They saw so many bad behaviors. They had very difficult families. So all the teachers were teaching to them was so important. One day, one of the kids put a tag on the chair of other of the mates in the classroom. And this boy was so furious that during the recess he took the tag and wanted to take revenge. So he was running after this one little kid, and the third one went running after them. And he was shouting out, "Oh, please, don't hurt him. Bring out the light of your heart. Bring out the light of your heart." They start to running and running and running. And all the teachers were there because those kind of things usually ended in horrible fights. But this time, all of a sudden, the kids stopped. And the one that was running after, the one that has the tag in his hand, says, "Please, don't hurt him. Bring out the light of your heart." This boy down his hand. He looked at his friend and they both hugged. When the teachers told us about that story, it really touches me because they were really able to transform the behavior. It was the first time. It doesn't end in a big fight. They were able to bring out the light of their heart. They really knew what was it all about. It's, "I am in the light is in me, I am the light." So they were really transforming the life, the patterns, the old behaviors that weren't good. And they were able to live like a lotus, not affected by the mud, even by the water in which they live. So now, this triangle is complete, but this is like a stool. Children, parents, and teachers must be there because if one of them is absent, the stool will be unstable. Now we have going through the importance of establishing a strong relationship between children and teachers, and also between children and parents. But we have to take into account that this relationship of teachers and parents makes the foundation of this special and strong and powerful triangle. Because parents and teachers are a model to learn from and look up to at all times. their capability to cooperate is thus essential for the child's development.
And this is also the final conclusion of this brief presentation on this very important topic, how the human being is connected with the human values. And in order to make this clear, I would like to summarize with this model, because a model is all the time very helpful to make us better understand some concepts. So we can see the human being as a pyramid with 5 levels. The first level is the physical body. And if we ask, is it something characteristic only for human being? Yes, it is a level of our being, but is it characteristic for man? No. Aristotle says no, because all the material things in nature are made for the same elements as this physical body is made. That means earth, water, fire, air, and sky. These 4, it was 4, just 4 for instance, Greeks, or 5 for the Indian philosophy, are the natural elements from which the physical body is made. It's not something very special. All the objects are made from these elements. But this physical body, how is it alive? Because it has some vital functions, like breathing, digestion, excretion, blood circulation. These are the vital functions which keep alive the physical body. Is this also unique for the human being? No. It is important. In Sanskrit it's called prana, but it is not the characteristic for human being, because even plants have these functions in order to be alive. The trees, everything. That's why this part is called by Aristotle vegetative part. And I think also in modern physiology, the nervous system is called vegetative part, a part of the nervous system. I'm not quite sure. Then the third level is the mind, senses, desires, emotions. Is this also characteristic for the human being? We have it, of course, but is this a characteristic? No, because this is also present in animals. Animals also have mind, senses, desires, emotions. Then what is the characteristic function of the human being? It is logos. Sometimes it's translated as intellect also, conscience, the spiritual heart. This is the soul, the inner source of human values. So by discovering this part of us, then we discover the human values, and there is the connection of the human being, human personality with the human values. When we can awaken this part, then we can reach the final level, which is bliss, happiness, which is the ultimate goal. And here in this pyramid we can see 2 levels to connect this with education. This is not just philosophical, because this educational program has a philosophy as background. So education is connected with just body and mind, but educare is connected with the spiritual heart, with the heart. Education is just information, while educare is transformation, because when you discover this inner part, the higher part of yourself, then you are fully transformed. The life is fully transformed. Towards better, of course, towards real happiness. Education is just explanation, but educare is inspiration. There are 3 kinds of teacher according to Satya Sai Baba: complaining teachers, explaining teachers, and inspiring teachers. We have to aim to the third, of course. Once I had a discussion with him, and then he, of course, motivated me to this direction, to being an inspiring teacher. But then he also said, explaining is important, because in order to inspire, you have first to explain. So this right balance, we have the whole pyramid. Again, we don't deny any part. We just connect all the parts to have a complete human being, one out of many, in harmony. And here again we can see what we said, the 3 H's: hands, head, and heart. We can see the one you think you are, which is connected with the body, I remind you, the one others think you are, which is the mind, and the one you really are, the divine self, or the spiritual heart, or conscience, or logos, or atma, so many different words to point to the same direction. What is the purpose of education? What is the purpose of human life? It is, if we imagine our inner self as a light, this light has to come up, has to go higher and higher to reach this level of inner wisdom, and when it reaches this, to go even higher to bliss or lasting happiness, we can say. Lasting happiness, it's just not just joy. Joy comes and goes. Joy and sorrow, this is daily life. But we want to achieve lasting happiness. This is the goal.
Hello again, good morning. I'm happy to be here again with you. Now, as far as I cannot join for the moment, yes, I'm going to give you the introduction to the workshop. Yes, we are left speechless after this uplifting, inspiring, and excellent presentation. What a beautiful summary of the essence of this program. We are left with a feeling of, I would like to hear more. So friends, let's now hear from our dear Esther Chris. She's going to present an interactive workshop, and everyone will have the opportunity to participate in it. Good morning, dear Esther Chris. We are really looking forward to enjoying your inspiring and nurturing interactive workshop.
Thank you, dear Elenita. I'm so happy to have listening to the presentations. It was very inspiring, so I feel very motivated, and we will go on with the presentation now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, so here we are, and we have had the opportunity to go together through this path, like blossoming our hearts until now. And now is the time to reap the harvest. But to do that, we can do that, of course, alone, but it's not very enjoyable. So we are going to do that together. So this time, I kindly ask every one of you to write in the chat the answers to the questions we are going to solve in order to make that harvest better. So we are going to work on these topics. The first one is, in what way have these sessions inspired you? The 5 first minutes, we will cover this first part. How was that inspiring in your personal life? The second one is in your family, and the third one in your community life. At last, we will summarize together your experience, your learning experience in one word. Well, so let's start with that first question. So be ready to answer in the chats. So while you are writing in the chat, I ask you to don't be worried if you don't see your answers in the map. I will take all of them when we finish the workshop to share with you the map that we will construct together. And I will complete those answers that maybe I cannot see because sometimes it's going so quickly in the chat. So when you are ready, we will begin. In what way have these sessions inspired you in your personal life?
Here we are. We have the first answer. Oh, okay. Okay, here I have another one. Beautiful, beautiful. I became more insightful and grateful. It has made us spiritually inclined. Yes. What else? Oh, yes, of course, this is very important. See that. To see things with much love. And there is another one here. Yes, it's beautiful to make the harvest together, isn't that? Oh, here, raise my everyday energy to higher levels. Oh, I became more confirmed of what I just had an intuition before. Please remember not to be worried if I cannot take your notes, because it's like moving very, very fast. It helps in reinstilling in me the basic values. Oh, Elenita, can you make me a favor? Can you indicate me when 5 minutes are going on? So, because I didn't took the time.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Thank you, dear. And here is another one, a positive attitude. Of course, this is very important. Oh, no. Positive attitude. Okay. You cannot imagine how many answers we have in this chat today. It has uplifted me to be more inspirational to myself. And not only for others, but for ourselves. It's very important. Here is another one. Be much more grateful and less judgmental. Oh, that's relieving. I have become more loving. Oh, no. Now, yes. I have become more loving. And here is the next one. More understanding and available. Oh, it means that we are opening our hearts. You know, this is very important, because when we read the sentences that we are written here, it's for everybody. So it's like having the opportunity of listening to our hearts when reading this. We became more aware. Oh, this one is beautiful. So I have been inspired in many ways, more conscious of my inner power, of my inner power. It's corrected now. Yes, I can see that. I have started to watch before I speak and react. If we do that every time, we didn't commit so many mistakes. And I had feeling of oneness with every one of you. We also felt the same, Eva. Thank you. Well, I think that I missed some of the messages. I didn't find them now. I'm not sure, but I'm waiting for new ones. How many time do we have here?
You have one more minute to complete 5 minutes, you said, didn't you?
Perfect. Yes, yes, it is. Thank you. We have another one. Thank you, Elenita.
You're welcome.
I have learned to put in act more discipline. Of course. There are lots of things that are coming to our personal life with the blossoming of these flowers. Now it's time to harvest fruits. Those are the fruits. for all of us. You will receive all of them. Oh, there is another one. To live in gratitude and love. How beautiful.
Now is the crazy 5 minutes. First part.
Thank you, Lenita. So as you can see, there are lots of fruits that we had from that experience together in our personal life. But now we are going to proceed. And we are going to work in our family life. So we will begin to think about this question and also answer in the chat. In what way have these sessions inspired you in your family life? I have the first answer here. That's perfect. So now I have to do that. And now here, look at this. I have become more patient and tolerant. What a beautiful experience. Oh, here I have another one. Values entered into our conversations. I have learned to develop more patience, more positive, and here also patient, tolerant, and comprehensive. Oh, that's great. I have learned to value respect and listen to everyone's opinion, big and small. That's like listening from the heart. Oh, equanimity. Oh, there is something that is happening to me here that, oh, now it's okay. Equanimity in all situations of life. This is amazing how many fruits approach with more kindness. More peace, tolerance, and comprehension, and love. Here, more, oh, no, this is more tolerance, tolerant too. This is the next one. And now, most understanding and available. Oh, that's beautiful. I think that our lives are changing, really changing. Patience and accommodating. There is another one here, very beautiful camel too. I became more and more patient and understand the behavior of others and feel more love around me. When we begin to understand, everything changes around us. This is beautiful too. I think that I cultivate more patience and tolerance. As they say, if you want to know how wise you are, go and visit your family. Oh, that's incredible. I love this one. My family has been transformed, looking up to my personal transformation based on positive human values. Oh, that's great. We are very lucky to do that together because I don't know if this is happening to all of you, but when I read either of comments, each of these comments is so meaningful to my soul too. Beautiful.
Dear Esther, Chris, there is only half a minute for this part.
Perfect. Thank you, Elenita. Tolerance, patience, and love. This is the tolerance, patience, and love. And here is patience. Patience, like this. Okay. So once again, we have lots of fruits. And don't be worried if you don't see your proposal here, because I will take care of every one of your comments and we'll complete the map at the end. This is amazing. So we also had family transformations. Okay, so let's continue and see what's happened. Now we are going to share about in what way have these sessions inspired you in your community life. And remember that this is very important because when remove the filter. Now, yes. Okay. Sorry, not selected. Okay, sorry, I have a little problem here, so I have to put here this. Okay. And I want to invite you now to write your comments. As soon as you are ready, it is okay. I will see the chat again. Wow. Here it is one. It has inspired me to practice with my family and say family also. Okay, this was for the last answer. And then here, but I will correct it, no problem. I communicated the values in my learning classes, learning to take care of children. Okay, great. I have become aware that giving is a great joy. I am more available and comprehensive. Good. Thank you, Jordi. More understanding and compassionate with all beings, serve with joy. I am more open and secure in sharing love. Tolerance, patience, and love. Yes, Elenita.
Yes, dear Esther, Chris. Now it's 5 to 11, so it's 10:55. So
perfect.
Just for you to calculate.
That's perfect. Thank you, Elenita. So
thank you.
Remember that I will complete the map with all these amazing learnings and experiences that we are sharing together. Those are our fruits. Now we are going to proceed with the last one. So here, where is it? Advanced view. We are going to do the last one. And here I will ask you something very, very, very easy. To summarize your learning experience in one word for 3 minutes. So let's complete that part of the one word, love. Commitment happiness, self-confidence, unity, acceptance, more love, and patience, and gratitude. And equanimity. Oh, that's beautiful. Mind opening. And joy. Uplifted. Compassion. Appreciation. Inspiration. Oh my God, that's incredible. Awake. Wow. See how many things are happening inside us. And here is another one. It's like awareness. Inner view.
Dear Esther, Chris.
Yes?
There is 2 minutes for, we need to conclude because there are
Perfect.
now 2 minutes for the end of the first part.
Perfect. This is amazing to see how many things we have discovered through this path during these first sessions. So here we can see how the map is complete, and this is something that we have made together, because a path made together is so meaningful for all of us and so powerful. So thank you very much for your participation, and I will complete the map with the things that I didn't see in the chat. Thank you, dear Lenita.
Thank you, Esther, Chris. Thank you so much for this inspiring and organized way of collecting all our impressions and learnings of all this group and a beautiful group of participants.
Thank you, dear.
So you have done something so simple and so helpful for all of us to reflect on the learnings using this mind map. And when we look back on this beautiful journey, we are able to realize that we have gained what we have gained, how we have transformed and become more aware and value orientated in our interactions, in our personal life, in our family life, and in our community life. How using a mind map helps us to find the way to our goals, no matter what the subject is. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And also to all the participants for the inspiring contributions. Now, dear friends, it is time for a short break. So we will meet again in 5 minutes. See you very soon. You can enjoy the music in the middle. Hello again. Welcome back to the second part of session 16. As you all know, I am Elena from Madrid, Spain, and I'm going to be your facilitator in this part. First, we are going to continue watching the summary of Course 1, Module 2, with a video made up with essential, meaningful parts of sessions 7 to 15. After that, we will invite all of you to share whatever you would like to express regarding your overall experience in this adventure of walking together on the Satya Sai Educare path. And now we are going to watch the video.
So just summarizing all these 5 techniques put into this slide once again, the powerful combination of all of them used together. I think it's also very enlightening to see that, of course, these techniques, as we said, they rotate in a class when we use it through the direct model. They rotate around a given value that we want to work on and enhance this value through different facets of the diamond, we could say. But I've also observed that actually each one of these techniques has a very close connection to each one of the 5 human values. Of course, they all are connected, like the 5 human values too, but we will see a very sweet and nice connection with each of the 5 techniques and each of the 5 main human values that Satyasai Educare talks about. So we could connect the technique of silent sitting, meditation on the light, with peace. Once again, when we feel this peace within, when we feel this quietness, this stillness, when we're able to focus on our breath and be fully present and become more aware, we feel peace. And like the quote the founder uses when he talks about love as the undercurrent, and he says that love in feelings translates into peace. And this is exactly what one feels through this technique. Right action is very much connected to storytelling, because through the use of these characters and even the antagonistic characters and what one shouldn't do many times, children and adults were able to see it helps us, improve our conduct, our behavior, and it's related to right action, to righteousness. And once again, love in action is righteousness, as Satyasai says too. The universal prayers and quotation, it's very much related to the value of truth. Again, love in words and thoughts is truth. So when we hear these inspiring quotes, when these words resonate from our heart, they connect to our mind, giving us this source of wisdom. Truly, it connects us to who we are and brings us back to the essence of truth, which, as we remember, truth means to not forget who we are, to not forget or hide, like we saw in the Greek meaning of the word aletheia. So this quotation, this universal prayer, brings us back to this source of wisdom and connects to the value of truth. The group activities, it's a wonderful platform, scenario to experience this non-violence. And love in understanding is non-violent, says Satyasai. So when we are able to live together, to work together, to be together in harmony, the manifestation, the way it is seen, is through this value of non-violence. And group singing, once again, it connects directly to the source, which is to love. When we sing, and when we sing together as one voice, it creates such a beautiful feeling of harmony that takes us immediately to this warmth in our spiritual heart and connects us to the value of love.
We know that all spiritual traditions adopt meditation practices to foster inner peace, self-introspection, and connection with the higher self, to build awareness. There are many methods of meditations, but our topic today is related to all human values, as we could say as a general introduction, and particularly, as we have seen during our last session with Vaksha, to the value of peace. Because when we learn to sit in silence, we calm our minds that are always on the move, and we learn to breathe better. So we know that this fosters inner peace. As we learn to do this, we become more and more conscious of our feelings, attitudes, behavior, reactions. We move closer to ourselves. And through this silence, we connect to our spiritual heart, which is the seat of all values that we have seen in previous sessions, and it is our truer nature. The outcome is that we develop what we call self-awareness, which is awareness of our true self, of who we really and truly are. So, silent sitting and light meditation are connected with all the human values. We'll see how it fosters calmness, harmony, and other sub-values related to the value of peace. But silent sitting and meditation on the light is also directly in connection with truth, the human value of truth. Because as we cultivate silent sitting, we are moving inwards and also cultivating a deeper and truer connection with our higher self as well. So that too takes us towards self-awareness, a fuller understanding about who we really are. So it is connected with the value of truth. How is it connected to the value of right action or righteousness? Because by making it a habit of sitting in silence, of concentrating our mind that is always moving outwards, we connect to our heart, which is the source of human values. And our mind is then less prone to agitation and emotions. And then it becomes easier to act consciously and in a good way, not just react, but act from that place of peace in us. So that leads to the right action. When we act from this place and do not react automatically.
In fairy tales, the characters which are the carriers of the story are not real characters. They are archetypes, and very often they do not have names. They are just they give just a general picture which influences very, very deeply these parts of our beings which are collective. It is important to understand that archetypes are not, we cannot destruct them. They are indestructible, but throughout the time, they can be very slowly developed and reconstructed according to the situation in which we today live. And stories like myths and fairy tales are well-known treasury of cultural archetypes. And that is the reason why we will talk today a little bit more about fairy tales. Fairy tales are not the only stories we can use in education in human values, but they are very rich resource of the values and of these collective pictures, which give us a lot of strength when trying to understand our human destiny. And that is the reason also why we think that telling stories harmonizes human beings, and why we tell that stories are connected with dharma, with right conduct. We should understand that our inner life is not a place where we do not have challenges and turbulences. Throughout our life, we have these challenges from early childhood, and we should understand that this process of maturing will last until the end of our life, until the last end of our life. And we are constantly from the inside in situation to find what is the essence of our thoughts and of our deeds, and stories in this way can help us understand, help us find orientation in our life, and help us develop these inner strengths which will support our life. When we hear the story, we identify with the characters, and we have this inner process in which we discern what is good, what is bad, what happened with this character, what are the consequences of some situations and behaviors which he passes through. And in this way, Bruno Bettelheim used to say, he was a very, very popular psychologist who dealt with fairy tales. And he used to say that ideas we meet in such stories help us make order in our inner house, which is really the essence of Dharma.
To be good, to do good things, to hear good, to think good, to speak good, to see good, to hear good. We need to focus, we need to concentrate on those aspects of the world and avoid other aspects of the world which are not so uplifting and inspiring. And then the mind, as we said before, and Raksha also said in her presentation, the mind is full of thoughts, and these thoughts are always in action. They are always growing, expanding, and they are coming in and out all the time. So we need to elaborate these thoughts. There is a very nice saying by Satya Sai, a very beautiful quotation in which he explains the nature of these thoughts with a beautiful metaphor. Again, with nature. Man's thought is like the seed of a tree, which in due time will turn into the branches, leaves, flowers, and fruits. All that you see in a tree has emerged from a small seed. In the same way, although man's thought is subtle, the whole universe is in it. The atom is the microcosmos of the universe. Be aware of the big size of the tree. Its seed, however, is very small. The seed and the tree are one in essence. Every person must observe their thoughts because they are the foundation of their actions. Your thoughts are the cause of the success or failure of your efforts. Therefore, use your thoughts in an appropriate manner. So we now understand even better that the thoughts are the seeds of our feelings, our words, our actions. There is a beautiful quotation, also very short and very meaningful, that goes well together. Here it is, as we think, so we become.
So I'd like to take a step back just a moment and reconnect to the 4 pillars of education that we have seen already when Marianne presented the pedagogy and philosophy of Satya Sai Educare. Now, these 4 pillars are exceptional because they have been identified by the International Commission of Education for the 21st Century in 1996, the Delors Commission. They've been identified to see exactly what we need to make education complete and integral. So we have seen that these 4 pillars are learning to know, the acquisition of knowledge, learning to do, the acquisition of skills, learning to live together, the process that involves our learning to interact and live well together, live in peace together and in harmony, and learning to be, which is the process that implies self-inquiry, self-understanding, self-development, and self-knowledge. Now, what happens? Of course, you have seen already that our third pillar, learning to live together, corresponds to today's technique, to group activity. However, if we think about it, when we do work together, interact together, pursue a goal together, what do? We share our knowledge, our perspective, and our understanding. We share our skills, our know-how, and we learn a lot about ourselves when we work with others. So what does this mean? It means that group activity is in itself a complete process of education. Now, I chose this wonderful quote by Mother Teresa that is so simple, and we know simplicity is winning. It is so effective. I can do things you cannot. You can do things I cannot. Together, we can do great things. So, of course, group activity means bringing our resources together, sharing our understanding and our skills and our perspective. And it also fosters a spirit of humility, because I may be very good at doing a few things, or even many things, but I may not know how to do what you do. So we learn by being together to open up to everyone's resources and potential and build something together. Now, if we look at our 4 pillars, we can actually also see how they correspond to the values of truth, right action, peace, and love. Because when we uplift our process of acquisition of knowledge with higher perspective, with human values, this process turns into our quest for truth. And when we uplift the process of acquisition of skills, building our skills with higher human values perspective, this process, our skills reach a point of excellence and perfection and turn into right action. And when we uplift this process of learning to live together, we know that we can achieve a state of peace. And when we deepen our self-understanding and we go deeper into our true human nature, we realize that there's a core, an inner core, in essence, that is love, and that is equal in all beings. And we also know, and the founder of this program has stressed this many times, that when we practice truth, right action, peace, and love, when these values manifest in our lives, what is the outcome, the end result? It is non-violence.
I am music, most ancient of the arts. I am more than ancient. I am eternal. Even before life began upon this earth, I was here, in the winds and the waves. When the first trees and flowers and grasses appeared, I was among them. And when man came, I at once became the most delicate, most subtle, and most powerful medium for the expression of man's emotions. When men were little better than beasts, I influenced them for their good. In all ages, I have inspired man with hope, kindled their love, given a voice to their joys, cheered them on to valorous deeds and soothe them in time of despair. I have played a great part in the drama of life, whose end and purpose is the complete perfection of man's nature. Through my influence, human nature has been uplifted, sweetened, and refined. With the aid of man, I have become a fine art. I have a myriad of voices and instruments. I am in the hearts of all men and on the tongues in all lands among all peoples. The ignorant and unlettered know me, not less than the rich and the learned. For I speak to all men in a language that all understand. Even the deaf hear me, if they but listen to the voices of their own soul. I am the food of love. I have taught men gentleness and peace, and I have led them outwards to heroic deeds. I comfort the lonely and harmonize the discord of crowds. I am a vital part of all life. I am music. The purpose here is for the students to establish peace in their heart. They may concentrate on their breath, to create harmony, to tune in and calm their minds. You can see in this photo some of our students at our Center for Human Values in Athens. As you see, they are sitting around a table together with their teachers. You can see some of them you know, Jordi is there. And after that, we find a quotation from a well-known person or a proverb. We have then a quotation or a universal prayer that reflects the message and the value of the story. The quotation can be even phrased sometimes by the students themselves. This is an incredibly beneficial tool that stays carved in the minds for long. After the story, we formulate questions to check the understanding of the students. Sometimes also at a deeper level are the questions. We also ask them personal questions to see how they may apply the message in their everyday life. Then is the time for group singing, if possible with a guitar. The lyrics we make up based on the message of the story, and the melody we may compose or borrow from a well-known song. Group singing creates unity and joy among all of us. Then we have the group activities. These may last about 20 minutes to give the children the opportunity to experience practical aspects and to work as a team. Finally, we have a follow-up, which is homework during the week that they may prepare when the lessons are done weekly on Saturdays. If we have time, we make an evaluation at the end of the lesson among the teachers, or else we have the evaluation the next time we meet. The Minotaur was a monster with the head of a bull and the body of a man. He was fed on humans, which were taken as tributes by Minos, since Athenians had lost a war with Crete and had to pay a heavy tribute to Minos. The tribute consisted of 14 young citizens of Athens. They were noble citizens. 7 young men and 7 young women who were traveling with a boat to Crete every 9 years to be eaten by the monster Minotaur. Theseus, a heroic prince of Athens, volunteered to be sent to the Minotaur, hoping to kill him and thus put an end to this tribute of his city. In Crete, you see here the Prince Theseus fighting with the Minotaur. We can see it on an ancient vase.
So as we have been saying, the 5 human values can be implemented through the direct approach. And we saw a lot about this. The direct approach is when we develop and teach specific value-based lesson plans with a single focus on human values, incorporating the 5 teaching techniques that are associated with ISSE-SE. I will just give a brief overview of all the 3 approaches now, and then we will go in depth in each one of them. The indirect approach is when we integrate the human values into the existing school curriculum through the different subjects. And as Jordi very correctly said, in most schools, there is no such specific human values lesson as such. I'm very blessed to have this opportunity in the school I work at, because the children actually have weekly human values classes, as I have shared a few times, both in primary and secondary. So that permits me and allows me to apply the human values program through the direct approach. But it is more common in most schools that maybe don't have something so integrated as such to be able to do it through the different subjects, and not only through the different subjects, but also through the co-curricular approach. And that means by adopting a value approach and enhancing the practice of human values in any co-curricular activity. We will go into what we exactly mean by a co-curricular activity, and we will see that once we get to that part of the presentation. And when one asks ourselves, what would be the ideal situation in any school, in any scenario where a child is learning? We know that the ideal situation is that all these approaches are used in coordination. Because the truth is that when we understand the importance of human values and how they are related to the integral and holistic development of a child, the truth is that they can be drawn out from any subject, from any activity. And therefore, that's why it says that ideally human values should and can find their place in whatever form of work and interaction we engage in with children. And I would say that actually human values can find their place in whatever form of work and interaction in everything that we do in our daily lives. So once again, yes, we're talking about education for children right now, specifically more, and seeing how we can develop this, but I like to think about this as in our own lives, any scenario, any situation is a perfect moment and time to practice and enhance these human values. And that's why we always remind ourselves, and we had this beautiful presentation by Esther on the triple partnership, where we saw the importance of the child's, the pillars of the child's education, of course, school, but mainly their home too. So it's so important to work together with the children, with the students, parents too, as this cooperation will make this task much easier and, more importantly, much more successful.
We will today learn about experiential learning technique. This is also a technique created by American psychologist David Kolb. It is very complex, and we won't go into all aspects of this technique, but I can tell the basic things. The first is that he found out that we are, while learning, in a process of learning. That means that we pass through some phases. For example, now when you listen to me, I tell some new ideas, and then you have a process. You are not only just passive listeners of the things I say, but you put the information you hear from me into your web of your knowledge, and you put this, you estimate what I say, and you connect this with the things you already know. In this way, we build this knowledge, and you are very active in this phase of listening. And he defined these phases of gaining knowledge through learning process into 4 phases. The one is experiencing something new. The other is reflecting. That means that we think, aha, I know this. It is a part of this or that I already know. Then we make new ideas, which will happen to us today in our workshop. We create new ideas out of the things we experienced through this presentation, and also we act. We do something with the knowledge we have. This is not a mechanical circle. We can start the process of learning from every point, each point of these 4. It depends on the learning style we are prone to. For example, some people like to feel things. Some people like to be inspired. They cannot do the things only in a cognitive way. Some people like to try to make tries and have some errors, to have concrete experience with something. And some people like to ponder very deeply about some ideas. So we can start from every point, but the real process of learning consists of all these 4 aspects. And as we mature and as we are older and older, we are capable to use all these 4 points of learning in our process of learning. So this maybe looks a little bit complicated, but we can explain the same thing with old Chinese proverb, which says, I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. But when I do something, I understand it.
And now we are going to start sharing also our team members' expression of different gratitude and feelings about the final session of Module 2. So I would like to call for Esther Chris. Esther Chris, would you like to start?
Yes, of course,
by
thank
saying
you.
something?
Yes, thank you, Elenita. Well, this is my character. As you see, it has many symbols. I chose the value of inner connection, and it is written in the arms of the character because it is related with the actions I made. And the purpose of this character is to connect my inner heart with my higher consciousness. This is sparking. Everything is sparking. But the reason is because when I'm connected, when I have that inner connection, all my life can go through my clothes and everywhere and touches the places and the people and everything I find in my way. And here you can notice that this character is using a pair of shoes, a violet shoes, a color of transformation, and the brand of these shoes is D, because each step is guided by the 5 Ds of the program. And sometimes this character has difficulties to maintain this inner connection. So she has some strategies. And here are the strategies. First of all, she has to be silent, because when she is silent, she can begin to smile to everybody. And when smiling, the heart is opening and you can listen with the heart. She can serve in a better way. And at last, fully immersed in peace, she can understand who she really is and who every one of us really is. So this is my character. Now I invite dear Vasiliki to continue.
Thank you very much, dear Esther Chris.
And you turn your camera, please.
And this is my character. Can you see her? She's an Indian lady. She's wearing a sari. And she is very happy, marching, even running along this path. The value she holds in her heart is gratitude. Can you see that? Gratitude, yes. And she is thanking all of you, dear participants, for your lovely responses and participation that made us all more rich than we were before. She also wishes you for the coming summertime a relaxing, wonderful, and peaceful time with all her love. Thank you. Next is Elena, please help. Who will come next?
May I? Next is Ines.
Hello.
Thank you, Vasiliki. Dear participants, dear friends, I thank you so much for having followed this course and being with us. You are wonderful people excuse me, and I'm very happy to be with you. I have a little angel who accompanies us in this life and brings equanimity to the world. Thank you very much. All the best to you. And I pass over to Verica, my dear Verica. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Ines. I first want to tell that I was very happy to participate in all these happenings, which lasted the whole school year, because we shared so many beautiful ideas, so many beautiful thoughts at this time in which people are not very kind to each other. I was really, really happy to be in this well full of beautiful energy. So this is my doll. It carries the proverb, "I'm nothing without your love," and it has very, very joyful shoes. And I have to tell that behind all our beautiful words is love. And for me, when I feel it really in my heart, I very often cry, and I feel in one moment that I came home finally. And it is really strange how difficult it is to be in love, really, every day. When you come to this place, it's easy, but before that, it is not. So I think that this is great opportunity for all of us to walk this path of love together and to help each other. I want to stress that all of us who prepare these presentations were also learners through this process, and we learned a lot. And thank you all for this beautiful experience. I will invite now Raksha to tell something.
Thank you very much, dear Verita. It was a joy, like you said, to share all these sessions together. We are very grateful in our heart, and this is a learning experience for all of us. So all your contributions, everything that you have shared, and even just providing us with the opportunity to do something like this is actually something that fills our heart with gratitude. And my gratitude as well, of course, to all the members of this beautiful team who we constantly inspire each other, grow together, and share our love too. So my special character is, it's actually, it has a special instrument with itself too, a sweet little guitar. But if you notice, this guitar is a special guitar because it's tuning head, heart, and hands. And the value that I chose was integrity, because I feel that to be a true peace friend, probably the most important thing is to first tune ourselves in order to then be in tune with everyone else. So it's a nice reminder that that integrity begins with the purity, the unity, the harmony of our own head, heart, and hands. And then together we can all walk as peace friends together in this harmonious walk of life. So thank you all very much. And yeah, and now it's my joy and pleasure to invite dear Brigitte.
Thank you, dear Raksha. I also feel so grateful, for that experience, for the privilege of sharing these wonderful experiences. First of all, I'm very grateful to the team, the wonderful team who has been working with so much love and harmony for these 2 years, actually, almost. A lot of work, but always with love and helping one another. It has been a wonderful, wonderful experience. And for the creativity and the wonderful ideas. And these ideas by Suzanne with the Peace Friends, it's absolutely brilliant. I think it can really inspire many. And starting with us, so this is the character that I drew just today before the lesson. The word that I chose is contentment. It seems like a very simple quality, but for me it's very meaningful because it's to learn to be content whatever happens. To be grateful, of course, and happy, but contentment is like that state of being in the present. Not in the past, why this happened, not in the future, what is going to happen in worrying, but just being content with what is happening. And it is very much connected to all the values, especially peace and love. So thank you again to the wonderful members of this amazing team for teaching me so many things. I have learned many things. And thank you to all the participants for giving us this opportunity. And now it's my pleasure and privilege to invite our dear Cinzia to share with us her experience.
Thank you, dear Brigitte. Dear all, it is an honor and pleasure for me, and I'm grateful to be a part for wonderful ISSE team. I am optimist. I was born in October under the zodiac sign of Libra, which represent balance and justice. For me, this has always been the way forward. So I think the value that best represent me is right action. And this is my character. And I hope to meet you again after the summer vacation to walk together on this beautiful path of human value, joy, and unity. And now I my pleasure to introduce Barsha, but she has a technical problem. She can't open the video, and Elena transmitting her message for you. Please, Elena.
Thank you, dear Cynthia. So now I'm going to introduce the character, the peace friend character that Varsha and I have made. I have been helping her to, according to her design instructions. We have been working together, and we have made this character. And the message that Varsha wants to give you today, wants to give all of us today, is this one. Dear friend, I have written it here at the back of the heart. Dear friends, today I start my virtual walk with the value of introspection. Today we part just for a short vacation. Surely we'll yearn to meet soon for the next session. My dear peace friends, thank you for being my inspiration. I know I will miss you even in this short vacation. So now I would like to invite George to continue with this sharing.
Hello, everyone. Already we've communicated, and but really it was a wonderful experience during this whole school year to work together. And now this is the best way to close, knowing that we will keep working together with this beautiful project that it was introduced in during our last session with Peace Friends. So that's why we thought, and you see that each one of our team has been prepared to show the character. For me, the character is very simple, but you can see I've chosen the value of truth, which I consider very fundamental in this program. Actually, truth, Satya, means truth, and our program is called Satya-Se Education in Human Values. So the first word of this program is truth, and I consider really that only this is a true education that promotes the human values and has the ability to reveal the true nature, our true nature, because this is the final goal. The truth about ourselves, the truth about the world. And you remember I had shared maybe once or twice during this module a very beautiful song which is in my heart that I've heard many times from the founder of the program, Satya Sai Baba. His name also is Truth, you see, Satya Sai. And it goes like this: Satya Mata Pita Gnanam Dharmo Brata Dayasaka Santam Patnam Ksama Putra. This means, I repeat, Satya Mata, truth is our mother. So you see, the most fundamental of all values, it seems here that it is truth, because out of her all other values are coming. And then Father, Pita Gnanam, is wisdom. And then the other are coming, Dharmo Brata, That means our brother is righteousness. Daya, Saka, love is our friend. Santam Patni, peace is our companion in life. Kshama Putra, and who is the son or daughter? It is forbearance. So you see, with this family, not to take more time, but let us keep in our heart that these values are like our true family. And as we love the members of our family, we have to love and to give priority in our life as we walk and keep walking towards the goal, that the most important thing, the most valued in our life, the most beloved partners, relatives, are the human values. So thank you for making this work together and inspiring each other. I'm very thankful to our team, as everybody said, and very thankful to all of you who regularly participated in this beautiful, inspiring course. So I would like to continue with the next one more member of our beautiful team, which is Esma from Croatia.
Thank you, George. Thank you all. Hello, everybody. And this is my peace friend character. Can you see it? It's about gratitude, because they say gratitude is the best attitude. And I fully agree, because then I'm grateful, my heart opens up. And then I can reach treasures within me. And then I'm able to give. And not only that, you simply expand when you are grateful. And then I can see the miracle of life. And the best miracle last 2 years was to be part of this wonderful family. You participants, dear participants, and us teachers. And you all inspired me and uplifted me every single time we meet. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. Thank you. And special thanks to Suzanne for this wonderful project, who will have enormous impact on the world. Thank you. Now I invite dear Jordi.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, dear Esma. I feel very ashamed because I haven't got a character to show you. I've been just too busy on this week. But today, this morning, I got up early, let's say at 6 o'clock, and I thought, well, maybe I'll have some time. But I had a question in my mind that was torturing me, and I have to tell you, and because that's what I have devoted my time this morning to. We have been meeting regularly for longer than most people do, who call each other friends. Yet the question is, are we real, or am I just an image dancing on your screen? See what I mean? So this morning, an answer flashed in my mind, that which confers reality is not physical contact, as people usually will say, or not only. You are real because I love you. René Descartes famously said, I think, so I exist. Well, thank you, sir, but I would prefer, I love, so I am. I love, therefore I am. Human values are reality itself. So I wish you a summertime full of love. And now I leave you with the sub-director of our institute and creator of the Peace Walk. Over to you, dear Suzanne Palermo.
Thank you. Thank you so much, dear Jordi, and hello, everyone. Good morning. Of course, I join everyone in sharing their gratitude to everyone who has participated in this program and made it possible. So, of course, this includes our whole team. It's been a wonderful process, I really think, for all of us. And we are very happy because we know it will continue. So in the meantime, we will continue to walk. And this is my little character. And I have chosen the value of care. I have to say, I thought and thought and thought, and really wondered which value could resume all the values that we really need when we want to help peace to take form and prevail in our life and society, and care came to my mind. And then I thought, well, the founder of the program many times has said, always be careful, which of course means, he implies, that we need to always remember our true essence, always remember who we really are. And when we do that, it becomes a little bit easier to practice, to connect to the human values, because when we realize who we really are, we are immediately in contact with this essence, which manifests in the values. And of course, care is so essential. And as you see the character, which by the way is a care actor, our characters act with care. So she is carrying the character flower, because this also means that we have care, that our thoughts, words, and actions are in line with our true essence. And this helps us become more caring towards others, towards ourselves, towards the planet, the environment. So I'm very happy to enter into our peace walk with this character and be there both physically and virtually, as Jordi just said. Now I'd like to ask Fabiana to please share what she would like to share with us today.
Thank you, dear Suzanne, dear all. I would like to express and share with you my great joy and gratitude in giving me my contribution in this wonderful and inspiring path of education and dissemination of human values. A path that revives in us the awareness of the principle of unity and how together we can build a new world in which harmony, ethics, peace, and love can spread. 3 words are important to me: knowledge, experience, and transformation through experience. Now it is my pleasure to show you my peace friend's character. The value of joy radiates from the heart like a radiant, bright sun, bringing light and harmony to all. I'm happy to practice and share with you these values on this journey we make together for peace. Now, I would like to invite maybe Esther Chris to continue, please.
Dear Fabiana, I already spoke, so I think we
Elena.
are
Oh, sorry, Elena. Elena, sorry.
Thank you very much. It's very good. It's very good to hear all of you. It's a wonderful experience. I'm full of joy now. And then I would like to share my peace friend character. But first, I would like to thank all of you and all the participants for sharing this wonderful pilgrimage on this sacred Satyasai Educare path. So as pilgrims, we keep on walking hand in hand, and together with all these characters. And here is my character, my peace friend character, who is holding the flute, of course, and she's happily walking with the value of cooperation, because cooperation is an amazing tool for living together in harmony and helping and learning how to live together with the value of non-violence. And so here is the peace friend walking like this and singing, "May the world live in peace and not in pieces. May the world live in love and not in pain. May we walk together to make it better. Loving thoughts, words, and deeds is what we need. Thank you. Thank you very much. And so now I have to do the closing of the session. And I would like to, well, everything has been said already by all of us, by you participants, by all the participants, by all the members of the team. So we have finished, we have reached the goal of the objective of completing course 1, module 2. And we have gone through the most beautiful, ancient, eternal, and universal tools to create an environment of love, to know how to discover, foster, understand, and practice the 5 human values with our human family, whatever their ages might be. And what comes next? As we have already said, when we say that this is a pilgrimage, it means that we are going to keep walking hand in hand, sharing the Satya Sai Educare philosophy and the Satya Sai Education in Human Values program, so that we can take it to all the corners of the world. And we are very, very happy to invite you all to participate in Module 3 after the summer break. When the information is ready, we will contact you in September to share with you all the details of this third stage of Course 1, which will start probably, most probably at the beginning of October 2022. And meanwhile, let us all remember our commitment to work together as peace friends in this world community with the help of meditation on the light, songs, stories, quotations, prayers, and group activities, and everything that we have learned so far. And spread it as much as we can to everyone, as we have already mentioned all, during this final conclusion of the session 16. So let us live up to the messages of Satya Sai. One, the most important one, love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never. So with this, I would like just to say, if you want to open your cameras and videos and say goodbye to everyone before we go on to the final song that we are going to listen once again.